On the news this morning, court grants bail to father of four accused of robbing young women in Port Harcourt. Trafficked 13-year-old boy rescued from under Rumokoro flyover. Hike in price of foodstuff takes toll on Port Harcourt residents. On the foreign scene, police kill 4 persons suspected of assassinating Haiti's president, Jovenel Moise. I am Ifiemi Andrew. A magistrate's court sitting in Port Harcourt has granted bail to Favor Ibama, accused of drugging, raping and robbing young women after luring them through social media. Chief Magistrate Obiagiri Onugbum granted him bail to the tune of 750,000 naira following an application by the defense lawyer to amend the charges. The case was later adjourned to July 30 to enable the defendant to take a plea on the amended charges. Our correspondent reports that Chief Magistrate Obiagiri Onugbum had earlier ordered the female victims to appear in court to prove their cases, but none were present during yesterday's proceedings. Coordinator of the River State Response Team on Violence Against Persons, Tombari Dumka Kote, is concerned over the rising cases of child trafficking and abuse in the state. Mr. Dumka Kote spoke to correspondent Choma Ezenwafo shortly after his team took a 13-year-old boy off the street. He said the boy has been sleeping under the Rumokoro flyover in Port Harcourt for weeks after he ran away from home following incessant abuse by his guardian.
In the past 1 week, we've recovered 5 children, all being trafficked into the state by various persons, and we are really saddened by this. This is really pathetic. Apart from himself, Chisom Paul has also told us that there are 6 other children who also sleep under the flyover with him, and they've all fled home. From the stories he listened them tell him that they don't go to school, they've been sent by those they are staying with to go and either sell pure water or hawk on the street.
He said his team will work with relevant authorities to see that all those involved in trafficking children into the state without proper care will be prosecuted. Meanwhile, the 13-year-old boy who has been sleeping under the Rumokoro flyover for weeks said he hawked sachet water for his guardian.
I'm living with my auntie Mary, and my auntie now gave me to his friend, so he will train me. So we now reach in Port Harcourt. The person that carried me, he's still dry cleaner and selling pure water for him. And he now started beating me. I now run away and stay in Umokoro. I slept in Umokoro in 3 weeks. And I want to go back to my village.
Some family members from Ubima in Ikure local government area of River State have protested the continued alleged harassment and intimidation by EFCC. Family members said they are bringing this to the public because the EFCC, despite being restrained from taking actions, has been violating their rights in a civil matter that does not concern the commission. The oldest man of the family, Roland Onwa, Boniface Wobodo, and Kinsley Umbuli, who is the youth leader, spoke to newsmen during a peaceful protest at Ubima.
The FCC has taken action and the court sees the action and everything is within the court. We have no problem with him. The FCC should go and sit down. They have no right to come here to come and intimidate us any longer. As far as court have told them to stop. What we are saying is that EFCC should leave us alone and leave Christian Ile. So EFCC and those that are close to intimidate us and Ile should stop. To tell the EFCC and tell all the security agency to call EFCC in order that they should abide by the law. They should not be interfering. This is just a family issues. I should no reason why EFCC should be coming on family issues.
The coalition of civil society organizations said they will deal with the EFCC if they continue to allegedly harass the families. Solomon Lenu spoke on behalf of the group.
It does not simply add up that matter before a court of competent jurisdiction has made an order, EFCC operatives will willingly and intentionally disobey such order. Since they have taken to the path of self-help and lawlessness, we warn that any further harassment and intimidation against Christian Ile and any Ubima person connected to this matter pending before the court of competent jurisdiction, we shall aid the court in protecting its honor. What the EFCC South Zonal Office is doing in this particular matter concerning Mr. Christian Ile and the Ubima people is quite unfortunate and very disheartening. But we wonder why the EFCC in the South Zonal office is now constituting itself to be above the law. Then there is going to be a class action from the civil society of Rivers State and the well-meaning people of Rivers State.
Recall that Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, presided over by Justice Adolfo Sanebeli, restrained the EFCC from inviting or arresting Christian Ile and members of Ubima families who are plaintiffs in the matter pending the determination of the court. The chairman of Andoni local government area, Erastus Awotu, says his administration will go tough on any cult group that fails to denounce cultism and surrender their arms in the ongoing peace process initiated by traditional rulers in the area. Mr. Awotu said this while addressing traditional rulers and chiefs at a quarterly strategic meeting of the Andoni Council of Traditional Rulers at the council headquarters in Ngo Town.
The window that the chiefs have opened for you to embrace peace, that the council is totally in support of it, and the council is backing it fully. And so if you think that the council chairman will come and call you tomorrow and give you money to make peace, sorry, let me tell you that we cannot judge you forever. Once we get those who are willing to turn away from sin, as it were, who are willing to turn away from destruction, who are willing to turn to serenity, those that stay behind, the whole of Andoni will come against you, and I'm sure you cannot survive.
Mr. Awotu also urged traditional rulers and chiefs to be fair and non-partisan in the resolution of court-related conflicts in the area.
And so I want to urge the traditional rulers, please, you're playing the role of God at the local level. God is fair. God is fair. And God is straight. You have to be fair, you have to be fair, you have to be straight to everybody. Do not take sides in conflicts, because when you take sides in conflicts, it tends to exacerbate the situation. It doesn't help. Please, once they arrest any criminal, don't call any GP for any side, because once you call for one side, you become the enemy of the other side. If somebody has committed a crime, especially the kind of violent crimes that we have been seeing, please, Your Majesties, don't get involved.
Earlier in his address, the chairman of the Andoni Council of Traditional Rulers, King Okuruket Nabiget, commended Mr. Awotu for giving prompt attention to internally displaced persons in the area on assumption of office.
The Andoni Local Government Area Council of Traditional Rulers under my watch would not rest on his ass to walk a sledge with the local government to put a stop to the senseless call to us in Andoni. I will use this medium to sound a note of warning to all those who stuck in trade into perpetrating crimes and development activities to stop further destruction of lives and properties. If they fail to refrain from their sacrilegious acts, Ijongo, land of Obolo, would rise and fight for itself.
Our correspondent reports the Andoni Traditional Rulers have not had its regular quarterly strategic meeting in the local government area in the last couple of years due to insecurity. The chairman of Ogba Egbema Andoni local government area, Vincent Job, has promised to ensure adequate security in the area. Mr. Job gave the assurance when a social-cultural organization under the aegis of Ogbako Egbema Alinso paid him a courtesy visit in his house. He said securing lives and property is a top priority of his administration and urged the people of the area to continue to maintain peace for the development of the area.
The issue of security, as a government, we also do our best to ensure that all security forces put their hands together so that we can ensure that lives and property of our people will ensure in synergy with the Imo State security. Will ensure that our area is rid of insecurity.
Earlier, President of the group, Ifi Francis Igwebuike, assured the chairman of their support in the redesigning of Ebocha Bridge to address the issue of flooding, reactivation of Okuzi General Hospital, security and environmental pollution, amongst others. He also commended Governor Wike for his developmental strides in the state, as well as Felix Obua for his good leadership style in the area.
It is God's time for you to be elected to this exalted office, and we have no doubt that a clear difference, which has already started, will become your trademark throughout your tenure.
Correspondent Emeka Otuga reports that the chairman of Anelga, Vincent Job, also received members of the management of Anelga Radio and Television in his office. The chairman of Obiakpo local government area, George Ariolu, has put up a grant for students from the area seeking admission into PhD and master's programs in tertiary institutions. Mr. Ariolu, during the inauguration of the 5-member committee at Rumudumaya, said the scheme is part of his administration's drive to boost education and also enhance the capacity of youths. The Obiakpo Council boss, while asking members of the committee to be fair to all applicants, announced that the scheme is open for both indigenes and non-indigenes.
The desire is that we are looking at a position where in the next 10-15 years, through this our little contribution, these persons will become professors and sound academicians that will also add their own quota in future to the development of not just the LG alone, not just the state alone, but also federation at large, and is expected that they be thoroughly screened and selected by your committee, and that selection should cut across the 17 wards of our local government.
The chairman of Obiakpo Postgraduate Awards Committee, Professor Edith Chukwu, in her remarks assured that members will do a good job.
I am overwhelmed, and I wouldn't want to take it for granted. And I'm also sure members of the committee are overwhelmed, because I am sure this is the first time this kind of thing is happening here in this local government area. And it's a kudos. I am proud to be a member of this local government area. So the chairman is aware of the importance of education. That is why he started with this. And I want to say that by the grace of God, we will not fail you.
Our correspondent reports that Kelvin Akani is to serve as secretary, while Professor Joyce Akaninwa, Professor Reginald Amadi, and Dr. Gift Wolu are members of the committee. The leadership of the West African Students' Union, WASU, has commended Governor Nyesom Wike for embarking on numerous people-oriented projects and the payment of adequate attention to the education center within the last 6 years of his administration. WASU President Roman Spila made the commendations when he led some student union members in the country to inspect and go in and concluded projects carried out in the educational sector by the state governor.
Very laudable landmark achievements of the governor of Rivers State, Barrister Nyesom Wike, led administration in Nigeria, especially as it concerns our very own constituency, which is the educational system. To me and my team, what we made here on ground in the terms of infrastructure and other remunerations and incentives far surpasses our expectations. This vision of His Excellency at transforming the educational fortune of the state from the pariah state in which we met, and he has done while he came on board, which is meeting the standards anywhere in the world. This administration has further demonstrated administrative prowess.
The president of WASU, Roman Spila, said Governor Wike will be conferred with the prestigious WASU Honorary Grand Patron's Hip following the construction of the 9 flyovers, building of ultra-modern campuses for the Rivers State University, and the funding of scholarships of indigent students, among other projects.
His Excellency President Nyesom Wike, Mr. Quality Project is therefore by performance, character, and leadership selected for the conferment of the prestigious award as the West Africa Student Union Grand Patron. This is sequel to honors bestowed on legendary and personalities in history, such as Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, the Sheikh Anta Diop of Senegal, Dr. Ladipo Solenke of Nigeria. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, happens to be the 50th recipient of this honor since the inception of this union in 1925 in London.
The national president of the National Union of Rivers State Students, NOS, Levy George, also spoke to newsmen.
For the unparalleled infrastructural projects in Rivers State, improving the quality of education has always been a major focus of his administration. Under his watch, we have experienced improved funding of tertiary institutions in the state. We thank His Excellency for the establishment of 3 new campuses of the Rivers State University to accommodate more Rivers State students and also exhibit development in the state. The less privileged have been catered for through the abolition of all forms of fees and levies in public primary, junior and senior secondary schools in Rivers State.
Still ahead, hiking price of foodstuff takes toll on Port Harcourt residents. Stay tuned. Governor Nyesom Wike says ethnicity is setting Rivers State backwards. Governor Wike, during the flag-off of the reconstruction of Rivers State Government House jetty at Marine Bay's waterfront, said because of ethnicity, some persons are no longer objective on developmental issues.
What has sent Rivers State back is ethnicity. What has made us not to progress so far is we blindfolding ourselves not to know the truth. If we have a place like this, do you know how many people would like to come to Rivers State? We're talking about tourism. And how can you say here should be a tourist area when you have all these shanties? Not me saying nobody will set Rivers State backward. Nobody.
The governor also said that the shanties at Marine Bay's axis of Port Harcourt will be demolished for the reconstruction of the road. He said the shanties pose security threats to the area.
I'm going to discuss with those who are here. We must find a way to do it. When the special advisor of special projects came here to clear this place, I know how difficult it was. Already this is a government property. But people have built all kinds of things inside here. How long can we continue to do this? What meaningful person would drive by this road and the night, coming here or you are coming out, if you won't see criminals blocking you on the road?
Our correspondent reports that Rivers State Government House jetty was flagged off by State Chairman of the PDP, Desmond Akawo. The GDI chapter coordinator in Ogbogoro and councillor representing Ward 16 in Obiakpaleko government area, Lofty Augustine, has dismissed claims by the leader Network for the Defense of Democracy and Good Governance NDDGG, Sobomabo Jack Rich, that he renovated the palace hall of the paramount ruler of Ogbogoro community. Mr. Augustine, in an interview with our correspondent, challenged Mr. Jack Rich to go on media tour to the said palace that he renovated.
It is laughable that the likes of Soboma Jackrish will visit Ogbogoro community and begin to talk about imposition of candidates and filling of forms. He should be aware that nobody in Ogbogoro will fill form to be a courteous or kidnapper. It is on record that the Ogbogoro people are not kidnappers, so Soboma Jackrish should carry his crusade to his lives and leave the people of Ogbogoro alone. I also want to use this opportunity to warn Mr. Jackrish that this should be the last time that he will come to Ogbogoro and make unguided utterances.
Recall that Mr. Jack Rich, during the inauguration of a palace in Ogbogoro, urged Rivers people to resist the imposition of candidates and inducement in the 2023 general elections. The hike in the price of foodstuff has continued to take its toll on Nigerians and Port Harcourt residents. Some of them seen at Mile 1 and Mile 3 ultra-modern market told correspondent Martha Okere that they can no longer afford up to 2 square meals a day. Others said families will not survive if prices of foodstuff remain high.
Sometimes you come to market with thousands. By the time you finish by, you'll be asking yourself, what did you do with the money? You'll be even searching yourself sometimes. Maybe somebody collected your money or something. It's not funny at all.
Basin of Garina is about 7,000 or 8,000, but before you used to buy 3,000, 2,500. You come out around to yourself, I cannot even buy the half.
I'm suffering. I'm dying. Everything there costs. Nothing is cheap now. To get 2 square meals a day is very, very difficult. Even a cup of Garina is 10 naira. How can we survive?
Come on, high fish. You cannot buy high fish 500 in the market again. No? From 1,015. That means meat don't even try better plus high fish. Fresh tomatoes, a custard is like 3,000, 3,500. Even as I am like that, I cannot eat outside because I don't know what people used to make stew because things are too expensive.
Foodstuffs like gari, tomatoes, and groundnut oil doubled in price in recent months. Meanwhile, wholesale traders are disappointed that the government agency in charge of price control has failed to clamp down on companies who deliberately increase the cost of items. Others say the inflation continues to affect patronage.
The money where you go hold, you go be like say no Holland. You go even if you go market come, you go to be like say they love you because the price where you buy there as they come back here, and I think they're going to sell there. You know, it's
when the price of this salt is less, the people that is buying it will be higher. But now, since things are high now, this salt is very high now. People are no more buying it, so people have limited buying things.
One of my friends come here this month, they saying import goods from China. Say for Wolf here, he spent over 20 million naira to clear that goods. And you pay with dollar. Then when you spend that kind of money, you go out for goods. Geisha alone now, they sell Geisha 450. Well, they sell about 250 self as of last month. 25 liter cannot toy. As of last week, it's 22,000. Now it's 23, 23.5. Why is like that? And nobody's asking question. And nothing you can do. You will buy it unless you don't want to eat.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
4 people suspected of assassinating Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse have been killed in a shootout with security forces. 2 others have been detained while officers are still in combat with some remaining suspects in the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince. Mr. Moïse was fatally shot when attackers stormed their home early yesterday, but First Lady Martine Moïse survived and has been flown to Florida where she is receiving treatment. Speaking after the killing, Interim President Prime Minister Claude Joseph called for calm and declared a nationwide state of emergency. On the news this morning, you heard that a magistrate court in Port Harcourt has granted bail to father of 4 accused of raping and robbing young women in Port Harcourt. A trafficked 13-year-old boy has been rescued from under Rumokoro flyover by officials of the State Response Team on Violence Against Persons. The hike in prices of foodstuff is taking its toll on Port Harcourt residents. On the foreign scene, you heard that 4 people suspected of assassinating Haiti's president have been killed in a shootout with security forces. The news was edited by Martha Okiri. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time.